I was looking for a second job to help pay for school. It had to be at night since I already had a day job, and ideally I'd like to work alone so I could use that time to study. Maybe a gas station or a store clerk position, something like that. But jobs like that don't go fast. Scrolling through forums and classifieds, I wasn't having any luck. Then I came across a post titled, "Someone to watch me sleep." I rolled my eyes. Definitely was a sex thing. Hard pass. An hour later, I was still coming up empty. Out of frustration, I refreshed the page. The same post popped up. "Someone to watch me sleep." I sighed and clicked on it. Might as well see what this weirdo wanted. It read, "I'm looking for someone to watch me sleep. I have medical issues and need someone to stay awake in the room with me all night. I'm a heavy sleeper, so you're more than welcome to bring a book, your phone, anything else you may need to pass the time. You must stay awake. The pay is $150 per night for the hours of 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Money paid each morning. Contact details below." Now I felt like crap for assuming it was a sex thing. It was actually a life or death thing. Was I willing to be responsible for someone's life? Then again, I needed the money. And 8 uninterrupted hours to study sounded just perfect. Exactly what I needed. I typed in the phone number and called, hoping no one had beat me to it. A man answered. He sounded friendly, but had a slight edge of panic in his voice when he asked if I could start the night. It was 9:20 p.m. Plenty of time to grab my things and head over. Before leaving, I wrote a note for my roommate. "I'm going to watch an old man sleep. Name, address, contact details below. P.S. This is not a sex thing." Not sure if that was the best idea. Sam would definitely think it was a sex thing now. At 10:40 p.m., I arrived at his house, a nice 2-story home with a well-kept yard. Before I could ring the bell, the door opened. The man introduced himself as Timothy Roberts and thanked me for coming on such a short notice. He looked exhausted, like he hadn't had a proper night's sleep in years. He led me inside and showed me his bedroom. One last time, I assured myself this wasn't a sex thing. His room was large and neat. A king-sized bed sat at the far end, a massive oak wardrobe opposite to it. A bookshelf stood in one corner next to a big, comfy chair and a tall reading lamp. "You'll be sitting here," he said, pointing to the chair. Then he turned to me. "The rules are simple, but must be followed." His voice was firm. "You have to stay awake in this room while I'm sleeping." He paused, making sure I was listening. I nodded. Yes, of course. "If, for any reason, you must leave this room, you must wake me up first." He clapped his hands for emphasis. "Sure thing," I said. His expression remained serious. Repeated back to me. I held eye contact and recited, "I will stay awake and in this room while you sleep. If I need to leave, I'll wake you first." I smiled, trying to reassure the old man. His shoulders relaxed lightly. "Thank you." Then he got ready for bed. The night passed surprisingly quickly. Between studying and the soft sound of Timothy breathing, it was almost relaxing. Before I knew it, the sun was rising. A gentle alarm began to beep. Timothy rolled over, turned it off, then sat up, looking directly at me. He asked, "How did it go? Did anything happen?" I frowned. "No. You slept soundly, and I got a ton of studying done." I stood, I stretched, and packed up my laptop. He climbed out of bed, put on his robe, and sighed. "Great. Thank you." As he led me to the front door, he handed me $150, crisp new bills. "Thank you. I said, pocketing the cash. I hope you had a good night's sleep. He gave a small, almost relieved smile. Best I've had in a long time. He hesitated. Same time tonight, I mean. Of course, I'm happy to come back whenever you need me. I left with a pocket full of cash and a laptop full of coursework. This might be the best gig ever. For the next 3 weeks, I watched Timothy sleep every night. Every morning, he looked healthier, brighter. I didn't know what his medical condition was, but I like to think I was helping him as much as he was helping me. Everything was great until I got a cold. I called Timothy, explaining that I wasn't feeling well. Given his health issues, it might be best if I skipped a few nights. Silence. Then softly, please come over. I'll pay you an extra $50. I thought about it. $200 to sit in a chair with a cold. How on earth could I say no? If you're sure you don't mind me being contagious. I don't mind, he whispered. And thank you. That night, I left my coursework at home. My headache wouldn't let me focus, not one bit. Instead, I figured I'd watch some TV. 3 episodes into a mafia show, my head drooped, my eyes closed. When they reopened, the credits were rolling. I had fallen asleep, only for a few minutes, but I had definitely fallen asleep. My heart was pounding. I turned to the bed. Timothy was still there, breathing, sleeping. He was fine. Everything was fine. 7 a.m., the alarm beeped. Timothy sat up, turned it on, stared at me. You fell asleep. His voice hollow, disappointed. My head cold got the better of me, I admitted. It was only a few minutes. I checked you right away. I'm so sorry. He lowered his head. No, I am sorry. He stood and left the room. Moments later, he returned with a handful of cash. He extended it toward me. Take this. I counted. $500. That's too much. I hesitated. I can't take this. He won't be needing you tonight. Never again. Timothy, I know I broke a rule, but it was only 15 minutes. I won't let it happen again, I promise. It doesn't matter now, he said. He pressed the money into my hand. Silently, he led me to the front door and opened it. I stepped outside, and before I could leave, his voice shaking, wait! I turned. His whole body trembled. His eyes filled with terror, not mine. You need to find someone to watch you sleep. It's been 3 months since Mr. Roberts fired me for falling asleep while working for him. He paid me to watch him sleep. It wasn't a sex thing, honestly. He just needed someone awake in the room with him while he slept. He said it was a medical issue, but on my last day, I had a bit of a cold. The medication I was on made me drowsy, and I dozed off for a few minutes. He wasn't mad. If anything, he was apologetic. I didn't understand why, but now I do. It started as a fleeting sensation of falling you sometimes get when you're about to drift, the kind that jolts you awake. Annoying, but nothing to worry about. Right. But then it kept happening. Every night I closed my eyes. The sudden drop yanked me back to consciousness. For almost 2 weeks, it disrupted every attempt to sleep. I figured out it was stress, studies, work, life in general. But I was wrong. I was dead wrong. At the 2-week mark, the noises started. Strange, untraceable noises. Not quite like breathing, but not breathing. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's the only way I can describe it. Another weeks passed, the sounds continued, and then came the feeling, the distinct, inescapable feeling that I wasn't alone. You know that sensation when someone is in the room with you, even when you can't see them. The air changes, the weight of the space around you shifts, but when I looked, nothing. I turned on the lights, checked the closet, under the bed even, but there was no one to be seen. Yet the feeling never left me. After a week of this, I was exhausted. Unlike the jolts or the noises, the feeling didn't fade away once I was awake. It lingered, keeping me from falling back asleep. I was barely functioning. My coursework suffered, but I was fired from my new job for lack of concentration. It should have taken me less time to think back to Mr. Roberts, but given my sleep-deprived state, I gave myself a pass. Mr. Roberts had said something to me as I left on my last day. You need someone to watch you sleep. He knew what was going to happen to me because it had happened to him. But unlike me, he had figured out how to stop it by paying someone to watch him. I unfortunately can't afford that luxury. I need my answers. I grabbed my phone, scrolling back 8 weeks to the day I first called Mr. Roberts about the job. I never delete anything, so the number is still there. I press call, it rings, no answer. Is he dodging me? Maybe he's just not home. After all, it was a landline. This can't wait. I grab my coat and head out. 40 minutes later, I'm standing on Mr. Roberts' front porch, staring at his door. How am I going to explain this? Hey, remember me? I think you cursed me with your weird sleep thing. Yeah, that'll go over well. I look like shit. My eyes are open through the sheer force of will alone. He's either going to think I'm insane or worse, he's going to believe me. I don't know which possibility is more terrifying. I ring the bell. The door opens. Mr. Roberts stares at me for a long time. He looks, well, really well. You, he says, almost sadly. Please help me. I beg, my voice cracking. His expression softens. Come in, let me explain. Mr. Robert returns from the kitchen with a steaming cup of coffee, hands it to me. It's extra strong, he mutters, avoiding my gaze. Thanks, I say, taking a sip. He exhales slowly, then speaks. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I never wanted this. I was very clear about not falling asleep while I was sleeping. I nod, waiting. The thing attached to me about 6 months before we met. I was on a vacation in Japan. I visited a shrine inside a beautiful temple. I fell while walking through a passage and broke a small glass vase. He glances at his bookshelf, walks over, pulls out a hardcover book titled Demonology. Flipping through the pages, he finally turns the book toward me. The Baku. It's a sleep demon. Legends say it feeds on nightmares, but after experiencing what I assume you have been going through, I dug deeper. He taps a passage in the book. This one is like a parasite. It torments its prey, keeping them from the dream world until they either die or pass it on. My stomach knots. After the noises and the feeling of being watched, he continues. You'll start seeing his eyes, usually in the corners, the ceiling. Then it will touch you. His expression darkens. After the touching comes biting, the scratching, the burning. He closes his eyes and lifts his shirt, his back covered in burn scars. Then he rolls up his sleeves, deep, jagged scars, running along his arms, alongside what can only be bite marks. I swallow hard. How did I get it? I whisper. You fell asleep while watching me, he says grimly. It saw you enter the dream world and latched onto you. I squeeze my eyes shut, trying to process this. The only way to keep it at bay, he continues, is to have someone watch you. I shake my head. I can't afford someone, and I won't pass this on to someone else. There has to be a way to remove it. It's not a curse, he says. It's a parasite, a leech. I stand suddenly, my chair scraping against the floor. I can't do it, I won't do it. I just can't. Wait, he urges. Let me watch you sleep tonight. At least you'll face the consequences tomorrow rested. I hesitate, then nod. Thank you, I whisper. The next morning, I've actually slept for the first time in my life, processing everything before the night before I leave Mr. Roberts' house and head home. On the subway, an idea forms in my mind. I don't like it. I definitely won't come off as sane, but I have to try something. That night, I set up my camera, adjusting the angle until it captures my entire bed. I plug my laptop in, open a streaming site. I hover the go live button. My stomach turns, but I have no other choice. I title